And then we get off track, and he's just like, yo, did I hit you? And
Chrissy just crowned twice, 3 times the king of OSW. 3-time king of OSW.
Chris is going to do Beast Coast.
Part 2, Dreaming of Fully Sent.
Drip and drift.
So, what are some other wild, crazy stories you got?
Let's get back up to the wreck.
Yeah. So, like,
let's talk about that.
Yeah, so basically, long story short, we shot this video. And at this time,
I ain't never gonna let this down.
At this time, Camel and Chris were like the compound boys. Like, we were out there all the time. They drive together all the time. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, tit and tat in that sense. Like, yeah. So Camel has this spot. He's like, yo, the spot's kind of goated. Like, there's a low key, like a fire spot that everybody here likes.
It's a street spot.
Yeah, it's
like
every
locals.
spot.
It's a very local spot. So like, we're like, yo, let's go hit it. And so we're like, all right, bet. So I don't even remember really what led up to it, but basically at this time, Chris's car was still like bone stock. Like, I mean, you could explain what the hell was done to it.
Yeah. It was welded diff and inline hydro, and that was it. No angle, no nothing, just stock HR. And we came up. You're right. I don't even know how we came up with this idea.
I don't know, but he was ripping out the compound, like still leaking the compound in that like stock car. So we were like, dude, we can take on the world. Like, that's literally how it felt at the time. We were like, we're hitting everything. So like, what's this one little corner, dude? It was like the smallest
Pretty
corner.
damn confident.
And it was like the last clip of the night.
It was literally and this
the last
is like
clip
2:30 a.m. on like a Tuesday. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't like on a weekend type stuff.
Damn.
Remember
Wait, what's that?
It was like 2:30 on like a Tuesday.
It was late.
or some
Wait,
shit.
was it Julian's car in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, Julian.
Oh my
Dude.
God,
I just didn't know if I wanted to name drop or not.
Side story, Julian was like, that was like one of the first times with like he was driving with us, and like
Clean.
he always wanted to drive.
He drove with us all day at the compound.
Yeah, he always wanted to drive with me and shit like that. And then we're like, all right, let's go street slide. He was like, hell yeah, let's go.
Clean.
He's about that, yeah, clean ass coupe, like one of the
Clean.
cleanest coupes, dude. Like, this dude made his own over fenders, like all, bro. He's a beast. Man.
So like my SR coupe was acting up, so I was like,
Here it is.
So I led like a little bit, but I'm like, look, I want y'all to be in the video. Y'all need to lead, but like y'all have to go really fucking fast. So it's like a second gear, but then you come around the corner, but then you have to like stay floored and do a long link to make the second corner.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like y'all just have to go really fast. So I did a couple in the lead, and then I was like, all right, y'all go now so y'all can get in some shine in the video. And then that's where it just went all wrong.
So it's literally like, it's like a T. It's like a capped off T kind of. So they come around this little like tiny bend, and then they hit the flick into the entry. And
Line corner.
I cut it out in the video too. Because he felt so... Dude, this guy was like...
I was like wanting to cry. Like,
He was like, I'm quitting drifting, guys. He like left the group chat. We had him back in. He was like, bro, what can I do to fix? And Cam was like, bro, it's fine. Like, it's...
Yeah.
He was hurt, but he was like...
Cam was
So,
like used to it.
Yeah, so like I've been doing it forever. So like you can build a whole car and total it in a week, and it is like this is how it is.
Yeah.
But like he came around the corner first, and he looped it right at the last corner. Like he was doing good, looped it right at the last corner, and Julian stopped. But when he like stopped, he flicked it backwards like towards me, and then I was coming in super hot because I know you have to fly through that corner. So I just locked it up, and like I just couldn't stop in time. So essentially, it was like I went into Julian, but it was like T-boned my whole door, and
But
like,
it was
destroyed
like
my car.
They make it sound so mellow, but dude, it literally like turned the car into like a tin can. Like it
It was done. That
it
car was
destroyed
done
the
after
coupe.
that.
It ain't done though.
Yeah,
It's still ripped.
It's a new
right.
door and she's shredding.
And then it was wild because it was like 2:00 in the night. So then we had to go back to my house. I think it was. I drove my car all wrecked, body kit all destroyed.
No, we ran
drove
back
it to
to the
my shop. Yeah, then I went all the way back to my house, got the truck and trailer, then came back, loaded Julian's car up, then drove to his house at like 4 a.m. and dropped his car off. It was like the wildest thing ever.
It was sad because it was like Chris made it out so clean, and I think he had survivor skill.
Yeah,
like, that's what I love.
Because I spun and I coasted the car going backwards, and I watched the crash happen in front of me.
Dude,
I hit it, and everybody's just like,
Damn.
I'm like, yo, we need to get the fuck out of here. The cops are gonna be here in
It
5
was
minutes.
so
I'm
loud,
like,
bro.
I'm
It
like,
sounded
we need to
like a
load
car
up and
crash.
get out of here.
It was a legit car.
It wasn't,
crash.
and dude, all the glass from his car and Julian's car like splashed on me from like 15, 20 feet away filming. and it got into like some of your car, dude. It was everywhere, bro.
We'll watch the clip. It's
I don't know if you can put it up, but like, dude, it was gnarly.
It sucked.
Because he
It
doesn't
was-
delete video footage. He goes teraflops.
Teraflop. So I have it, and so like, dude, it was gnarly. And I remember like, Julie gets out of the car. He's like,
Poor
shit,
shit.
and he runs down the block.
He ran away.
Yeah.
And he leaves his car just sitting there.
I'm like, bro,
sad. And me and Camel are like, yo, like we gotta move the cars.
Yeah.
Move the cars. Chris parks the car like halfway down the street, runs over. He's like, what are we gonna do? But at first, dude, there's like we made a sticker out of it.
Bro, I made like the weirdest, like just the most blank face stare, like. Of
Yeah,
Gil
it
ever.
was like in a movie when like he's watched somebody die and he's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he was stuck.
Yeah.
me and Camel are like, go.
Yeah, I was like, we need to push this car in the back so if the cops come, they don't see it.
Yeah.
I drove my shit, and then he was good, so it didn't.
Yeah.
It was
Because
just
that
so
wasn't
good.
at the compound. That was at
No,
the
that was
No,
on
it
the
was just
street.
like-
that was just like-
And what's funny is I love street sliding because it's like you have to do that shit. And
Yeah.
that's where it got.
Especially when you bring your trailer to it.
Yeah.
We were down the street.
Yeah,
so we
that
drove
was
there.
at my shop, so I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm good. If I get pulled over here, I'm good. But it didn't work out that
Yeah.
great.
But
But
yeah,
if anything, it started where the coupe just started. I didn't care after that. Like,
That's when it started.
That's what you need, because that's how you got the right hand drive.
yeah. So essentially,
it all
because
worked
that
out.
car, I went and bought a right-hand drive to replace it, which I didn't replace it. Like I bought it and fixed it. and then I was like, I got a right-hand drive. But then I started driving the shit out of the coupe, and then it was just like, it sucked because it was like a Simply Clean car. Like it was super nice, but at the same time, like
He didn't give
it
himself
let
enough
me.
credit. That was a Simply Clean car.
That
bro.
was
Yeah,
a
for
Simply
years.
Clean car.
It made
was
me
super
drive
nice.
even way harder though, because then I was like, well, it's already wrecked, so it doesn't even matter no more. It's a straight missile after that. So then that's when like me and Crizzy kept driving
That's when we
back
took
to
off,
back
like,
to
hard
back.
as
Yeah,
shit, yeah.
yeah. We just kept, and it helped me too, because like I didn't do like crazy tandems. I did like some tandems, but I was never like super close. But after that, like driving with Crizzy, and then like our styles are similar, then we started like getting closer and closer and closer. So it kind of like made it take off more or less than like destroyed everything. And I don't care because I just built another one. So
That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Dang. Didn't you lose a wheel, Vince, recently? I just remembered the wheel popping off. My bad.
How can you lose a wheel, bro?
Both Vince and
He lost his
Same-
first at Black
same
Friday.
day.
Oh, no
Yeah,
way.
so
Oh,
for real, I didn't even. So last Black Friday, I had this car for a week. I just traded a 370 for two Z's. I had a week to put this car together.
Hold on.
Yeah, let's go back to that.
Yeah. You can't just.
I had a week to put the car back together. Like the
No,
angle
no.
kit was on
I
upside down.
traded a 370.
You need to hit the.
For
Explain how you hit the jug.
Oh,
Okay.
so you had a
Explain the
perfect
joke.
working 370Z with
With
zero
Wise,
issues.
I went from a 350. I traded it for a WiseFab 370, super awesome car, and I was like, I don't know, I want something different. And I told myself,
No. I lowered my car.
I was like, I either want a turbo car or I want a Z. And the opportunity came where I finally posted it for sale. Some dude offered me two Zs, cash on top, and I got to keep like my cool wheels. And I was like, okay, I'll do this. So I had these two Zs in a week. And that same week, I also bought another Z. So like, to right now in my driveway, there's three Zs. He lives with me, so there's a fourth one there. Like we have a fleet of these cars.
Sounds like a marching band.
Oh, dude, it's great. Tomei exhaust. It's so annoying. The fart tune. Oh, dude, it's awesome.
It rips.
But so I had this white Z for a week, and like I was just shaking down so much stuff on the car. The angle kit arms were installed like backwards and upside down. Every nut on the car was loose. Oh, dude, yeah, it was bad. So every car I've ever had, I put like the nice ARP studs on. They're like this long. They keep the wheels on the car, right? That's what they're really good for. And was one of those things. I did not have enough time too much stuff on the list to do to get it ready for Black Friday. I showed up there with like my interior fully pulled apart still. Like I just put a hydro in the car, and the last day, I didn't even drive Friday. So drove all day Saturday. Sunday came around. I'm behind two cars. I fanked the car in, and like I don't even know what was going on, but the car skipped. My wheel came flying off. I saw a video of it after I already got home. I got attacked by my own wheel. But so my wheel fell off.
Came back towards you.
Dude, the wheel, like the car slid off. It's sliding like kind of like at the bleachers. My big 19-inch wheel like hit the side of my car. So like after that I was like looking at it like, how did I get this mark on my car? Like just trying in my brain to figure out what happened, and up until I saw the video.
It was like days later. Like he came upstairs. He was like, "Yo, look at this."
I figured out what happened. I got hit by my own wheel.
Been up for nights
It was
thinking.
cartoon shit, bro. Like
Yeah.
it didn't look real.
So that happened. I get made fun of for like a week and a half. Just, oh, bro, your wheel fell off, this and that. And then he's like, hey, I'm going to go drive next weekend. It was driver's appreciation.
Yeah.
He's like, so I think him and Andrew drove, and they're like, I'll let you take it from there.
Yeah,
But
so-
there's a curse. There's
so
a curse going on.
So I have to run adapters for the wheels that I run. So BMWs are 5x120, and I have Graham Light CR7s, not the DR7s, and they're 5x100. So I have to run these adapters to convert it over. And I don't know if the adapter failed, the lug failed. I don't know what failed because everything is destroyed. But I mean, I got 12 laps that day before the wheel came off. So like, there's no way I put the wheel on loose. So something
Wheel
had
on
to
the
have
same
failed.
side, like,
Yeah,
driver rear.
both
driver
rear.
Yeah.
And I'm coming through like the manji at the back, and right as I'm coming, I'm about to swing for it, and I feel a vibration that my car has never done before, and I was like, that's weird, whatever. And I'm chasing Andrew. I'm like, whatever. I'm with him, so I'm just gonna send it because we were running the short layout where we just shoot off there. I was like, I'll figure it out. So I transition. And I mean, my car drops, and I watch the wheel go over my window. Like it was like, if I don't know if anybody got a real shot of it flying into the woods, but like the wheel went over, like I passed my driver window. I loop it, and as I'm coming around, and the front of the car is coming back to the woods. There's a bunch of camera guys out there, and I watch the wheel go over all of their heads. It's hauling ass out into the woods. And I'm just watching it spin and just fly over them. I'm just like, please don't hit anybody. And
That would kill somebody.
dude, it was my wheel speed
Take
was
somebody out.
over
Yeah.
100 miles an hour.
I saw a really awesome photo where it was someone photographed that moment of the two of them, and Kevin put it into a group chat, and he like tried to set the photo where it was like a picture of them driving together, and
Yeah, and
you
he's
see,
like-
you
he's
see
like-
Andrew's car perfectly in the picture.
He's like, I
and you
made
see
the group
Vince's
chat.
wheel.
He's like, I made the group chat a photo of Vince and Andrew tandeming together, and it's his car and my wheel next to
You
him.
don't see his car,
I'm
but
not
you
in
see
the
the
shot
wheel
at
in the
all.
photo.
I didn't even know until I got back at grid, and I was like, why is the line not moving? Vince is still on track.
Why is he not behind me?
So it's like broken in the lead.
Yeah, they had to like the drone guys had to fly over there and like find it in the woods because nobody was like it was so far out there, like they didn't know where to start, so like the drones were flying around trying to find it.
That's funny.
So there's a curse going on. So just
The driver's appreciation day curse. And it
I think it's just fully sent losing
Yeah.
no,
driver
that
rear
recurs
wheel.
every year.
Don't
because
speak that shit into
No.
existence.
It happened to
I'm just gonna loosen his
good.
lug nuts.
There are
Yeah.
two people that crashed driver's appreciation that weren't involved with us at all. But last year was a cluster too.
That's just fainting.
that's
at
just
the wall and not
OSW.
knowing
Like
what to do.
that's just
The
OSW
driver's
driving.
appreciation
They're gonna
day.
crash into each other.
Well,
That's
but
that's
the
just
driver's
part of
appreciation
the
day
course.
all happens.
And it wasn't even the kidney bean. Kidney bean layout, I feel like every
No,
time they
it's
run
That's
it,
the
there's-
worst layout
half
that's
price,
ever
I'm
existed.
ascended, the
Yeah.
season's over.
Yeah. For a driver
Let's see
appreciation.
if my car can last the last event.
Dang.
So next time you drive, bring the torque wrench.
I'm
You
losing
got the
every-
studs on
I'm
your car
losing
though.
that shit.
You got the
Ugga
studs on your
dugga,
car.
bro. That's all you
2025
need is a Ugga dugga.
You know, that was the first time I used a torque wrench is when that happened. I always use an impact. That was the first
Oh,
time.
So I will
shit.
say,
That's why.
I will say the only time I've ever stripped the lugs, which I've obviously stripped a lot of those studs, was torquing
crazy thing to
them
say.
down. Every time I've ugga-dugga them down with a Milwaukee, that even if it's like loose, like I had one wheel that was literally wobbling, like I could feel it was completely loose, but it didn't fall off. But I've had, when I torque it down with a torque wrench, it'll start stripping, and then you try and take it off, put it back on, and it strips even more. You just have to.
I had it out because I had just done the axle, so I was like torquing the axle nut on, and I was like, whatever, I'll torque the wheel on since I have it out, and then the wheel comes off the next day. I was
Rookie
like,
mistake.
cool.
Rookie mistake. How dare you torque your car?
That's funny because I never Ugga Dugga. I always torque it.
Just
so.
don't over torque.
Yeah.
That's,
I don't know. The battery's charged. It's on, dude. It's just,
if you got
That's it.
2 bars in the Milwaukee,
It's never failed you yet.
Shit.
Dang. Well, shit. What else? Is there anything else that has happened recently together or anything wild?
I think it's been a long time since so Black Friday, 5 out of the 6 of us drove.
Yeah.
So we were there for that, and that's like I think lately, like, not everyone's been able to like drive together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's been a lot.
2025.
I feel like
Yeah,
even
yeah.
today,
Six out of 6 will be there. Come on.
today was very
Oh,
special
we're
and
missing
hard
Wade.
to get
Yeah.
everyone
I want to hit you again.
No, we didn't talk about that. Boom. We didn't talk about that, dude.
That was a funny video by Kim, to be honest. By Kim.
So
I think we've all hit each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
this was like shortly.
This
So
is
I
the first time you driven with your car liveried up. At
yeah.
OSW.
So I just got it repainted. I was like, yo, like I can finally link the track, dog. Like I'm getting my car painted and put stickers on it. It was way past that, but I'm out there. I finally got the livery on my car, dude. First day, like I'm amped up. Like we all go out. I'm driving, and we're like, yo, let's do some tandems. So like we're taking turns. I'm in the lead. It's always the Manji, bro. It's the back straight on the Manji. So
Yeah.
we're hauling ass, and I flick into the exit of the Manji, and then I'm probably like 5 cars ahead of Chris. And in the group chat, oh my god, I forgot. In the group chat, they were like Corey lead, and Cam was like Corey lead, and Chris was like, I'm a wreck your shit, and I was just like, please don't. And he was like, I'm coming for that door, and I was just like, please don't. He's like, I'm totally in your car. And I was just like, bro, no. So we come through the Manji, and I'm hauling ass, and then this dude literally just drives straight.
I
bro.
slingshot out of the car.
Dude, he didn't even Manji. He just drove straight,
Yeah.
flicked it back in, dude. Straight for my door.
Brand new car.
Dude, brand new paint,
car.
brand new stickers, all that.
Yeah,
and
you can't drive with Chris and be like, don't hit my shit. That's like
the day was going so good, and it was just like, it was so chill and mellow. And then, dude, on the video, it looks like the most like faint thing. Like
nonchalant, just like
he hits me so hard, but then the car just spins out so slow.
Yeah.
I like tried to keep it in drift and I couldn't because it was so damn hard. Like I felt the rear end like jump, like it skipped a beat and I kept trying to go. I couldn't. I didn't have enough angle. And then we get off track and he's just like, "Yo, did I hit you?" And I was like, I get out. I'm like, dude, literally, I was like,
God damn! I hit that goddamn car.
I literally was just like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm like, we're not racing. Like this isn't no competition. He was like, bro. He was like, I'm genuinely. I was pretty heated. Like I was just like, why?
You were mad.
I wasn't like,
mad.
what's your problem? I was just like, why? Like why?
Practicing for Saturday night.
Yeah, I was just like,
It was like
why?
Black Friday or spring break. I'm sure. Like
It was just some dude. It was some random open day out, and then he was just like, "Bro, I swear it was an accident." He's like, "I didn't mean to do that. Like, I just locked up my fronts." And then immediately I was like, "Okay, as long as it was an accident," because at first I thought he was doing it on purpose.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to get a reaction out of you with the text messages, but when I actually hit you, I was like,
Dude, I can imagine your visor. It's like,
yeah,
You got the
fucked
SpongeBob
up.
face
I fucked
again.
up. I didn't mean to.
Yeah, the
by no
SpongeBob
means.
face again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
'cause
SpongeBob meme.
because it was the text. I was like, "Why would you do that?"
Yeah.
He was like, "Bro, I swear it was an accident." I was like,
Yeah.
"Alright, we cooled it."
Yeah, it
Dude,
happens.
even
I
driving.
got a lot of those stories with Chrissy.
Mhm. Yeah.
So where does everyone want to go further in drifting? As fully sent as a club, team, or individually? I know Grendel's been competing. You say you've been in it for a while. Chrissy just crowned 3 times the king of
3
OSW.
times.
3-time king of
Three-time
OSW.
boy.
And a recent sponsorship, I hear.
Recent
It's time, bro. It's
sponsorship.
It's time. Stand up.
Take it off, bro.
Stand up. Take it off, bro.
Don't
I
sell
did
out.
that.
It's the plug. It's the plug.
Okay. All right. It's already been announced. Njuku, new sponsor. Happy for
Congrats, man. Congrats.
Thank you, Njuku. Thank you, everybody.
So we're all getting free parts?
Yeah, I mean, hit me up.
What's that part discuss, bro?
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Much like Andrew,
Where
I
are
would
you going
imagine.
next year, bro?
What's up?
Where are you going next year?
You'll find out.
Oh, shit.
I'll be
Keeping
there.
things a secret.
that's a grudge match I
It's
want to
not-
see
it's-
so bad,
It's
dude.
it's not a secret. It's just like I have plans of releasing stuff and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
So keeping it a secret.
yeah, much like Andrew and I don't know Camel. He's been in the game for 30 years now. If Camel wanted to go pro, he would have gone pro already. But I mean,
I just be doing
he'll
too
tag
much and not
along.
enough.
No, but much like Andrew, I plan to, getting into competing, U.S. drift circuit and whatnot. But recently I got sponsored by Njuku ever since I've been taking the drifting a little bit more seriously. It initially was strictly just a hobby. It was just something. I bought the Z initially, to be honest, to be a street car, like not even a drift, because I knew just like gutted full bolt-on HRs were just fast. And then
You want to go fast?
I wanted to go fast.
It came from, we went from the Corvette back to the Z, which is so
You
interesting.
gotta tell the story after this about the first time you went to the compound when you were talking to.
Oh yeah, no, that was funny.
That's later, but,
That was funny too. But yeah, and then my neighbor that Corey was talking about, he rides over in his bike and he's like, "So dude, what do you plan to do with the car?" I'm like, "To be honest, I don't know." And I'm new to Florida at this point. I've lived in Florida less than a year. And he's like, "Have you ever heard of the compound?" I'm like, "The compound?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Look it up." He's like, "It's on Google." I'm like, "Okay." So look up the compound, look up the history, and I'm like, okay, cool. So I go out there by myself. Like I don't know that this place is hot with cops. I'm like just driving around like some young kid, 18 years old. It's like, oh, this is cool. And then I find like a roundabout circle, and I start just doing donuts in an open diff 350Z, just like
Hell yeah.
hauling ass, and I'm having the best time of my life. And I'm like, I guess I'm drifting now in this thing. And then it kind of went from there. I welded the diff and then added a hydro, and then I left it like that for a while because I wanted to learn how to drive the car with nothing, essentially. So once I learned how to drive the car with no angle kit, no power adders, no nothing, then I just went to an angle kit. The car is the same, essentially.
That was after the crash.
That was after the crash.
So,
Yeah.
like, the legendary
Yeah.
crash.
Yeah,
It was like,
I probably pushed him to get the angle kit after
it was
that.
like
It
the
seriously
next
did.
day.
It seriously did.
It was like that next week. He was like, "Yo, FDF."
Yeah,
Like-
yeah. After that, I just knew it was time to like take it to the next level per se, and then it kind of just grew from there, the passion, and then I just learned that it's not a gift; it's just like a passion. Like I found out who Naoki Nakamura was, and Animal Style, and all these dudes that just like drive crazy and exciting, and I was attracted to that. So I started following these guys, and I found out that like Naoki, he has a literal like technique page, people that study his driving techniques, and I spent unhealthy amounts of time like watching those videos because I was fascinated on how he made these cars work with these certain upgrades or mods, and how he was just so much faster than other drivers that were practically in the same car as him. And so I try to like implement those techniques into my driving and try different techniques while I'm driving, and just on a basis of trial and error, essentially. And then that translated into me competing. Like I competed in my first King of OSW, and I got knocked out because of myself, because my slate blew up. Like we don't know if I was ever supposed to win that either. So, and that was the first time I hit Tyler. Remember I hit Tyler in the white hatch.
Tyler Yonkis?
Oh,
Tyler
yeah.
Yonkis, remember we had that meme?
Yeah.
We were like, fuck Tyler Yonkis.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, fuck me. It was cool.
All my
But
homies hate Tyler
Yeah.
Yonkis.
He's a cool dude though.
no,
Good
he's
people.
cool. He's
Good
super
people.
cool.
Good people. It was
Shout out,
it was a
shout
meme.
out Tyler. Shout out
It was a
Tyler.
meme.
But yeah, it kind of just went from there, and then I won my first King of OSW like kind of on a whim. I don't really remember how I did. It was in the rain, and I was super comfortable in my car. And I won that, and then I won the second time, and then I just won again, and then
Who won the last one? Was it Sean Booth or Christian Control?
Sean Booth,
Okay.
yeah, Sean Booth, and we had competed at the OKC Battle Royale.
I
and
missed the OKC.
Yeah, that was
fun.
cool. That was
that
a
was
run
a
for a
very,
bit.
very good series. And I think
I
I
got robbed on
podium.
site.
Yeah, I think I podium like third in that one, and then just like some small other competitions. I'm going to the Beast Coast Drift one on March 9th, so I
Ooh.
registered
Are
for
you
that
doing
one.
The 235 comp?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that one sounds fun.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Well, now that I say
He is
it,
now.
Yeah.
He's got a grudge to
235s
settle.
on that vet's gonna look
235. For real.
I gotta get
So-
whole new wheels for that.
For real. You
They're
do.
gonna measure contact patch.
Yep.
What?
After every run.
No more than 240 millimeters.
That's fire.
So
Yeah.
you can't
That's gonna make it so leveled though.
Yeah.
I think it's just a
all
very
driver.
interesting concept for a competition to not be like super gripped up, the most gripped up car in the world, like 235, like
That makes you a driver though.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it does. That I think that competition will definitely separate some people from the others. But Essentially, I'm just taking the next step. I have another V8Z that I'm getting fabbed up, and that car will essentially take me to the next level. Right now, my current car is getting refreshed just to essentially make it a carbon copy of the car that I'm making, but it'll just simply be a different power plant. So I want 2 identical cars, different power plants, just to get as much seat time as possible in the VQ car that I have now, and just work on taking it to the next level. I mean, and Juku has a lot of faith in me, and they gave me something that I never really even expected per se in the realm of like opportunity. So I'm very proud, of that. And like, yeah, people say I earned it. Do I feel like I earned it? I mean, maybe not. It's just like I'm just very passionate about it, and I almost treat it like a full-time job at times. And
You be making reels now, dude.
He's
It's
an
a
influencer
lot.
now.
You post on the reels in the chat. I'm like, yo, let's do
Make
this.
it sponsored one time.
yeah, it's just one time. It's my first sponsor, and I treat it as such because
Good for you, yeah.
I've been following Njuku specifically for a long time, and I've been following McDowell for a long time, and I've just, besides anybody else, not just because it's Njuku, but like Njuku's been like the hub of like Orlando, like drifting, and I saw Njuku before I even knew who the hell was driving their cars, and I was like, that's pretty freaking sick. And fortunately enough, I became good friends with McDowell, and then we went to Hyperfest. He took me to Hyperfest, and then he took me to the Drift Mansion, and he kind of showed me, him and big shout out to Billy Metro Racing, but I mean, those 2 guys really showed me what the next level of drifting was in competition, and I made a promise to myself that I would try to soak up as much information as possible from those guys to get an understanding of like what a good program looks like, what these sponsors want to see, like how serious they take it, and it's definitely a full-time job, just drifting, but at the same time it takes a passion and it takes a certain type of commitment, because not only are you committing your time and effort, but you're committing a ton of money and funding.
For sure.
So drifting isn't like something where like, I mean, you can dabble in it. You can have a car you slide every other weekend or whatnot, but if you want to take it to the next level, it's kind of like you need to kind of go all in, because if not, your spot's going to get taken up, or somebody's obviously going to be better than you. Somebody's always going to be better than you, but if you want to take it to the next level, then you kind of need to put all your chips in one basket.
It's a big commitment.
Per se.
Yeah.
It's a big commitment, but at the same time, much like probably all of us, it's like I need to see how far I can take this before I can say, okay, like I can move on to something else. Like I could be crocheting next year, and I could try to be the best crocheter in the fucking world. But
Totally set crochet club.
yeah, like
I can see that.
yeah, exactly. Like, I need to find out like how far I can take drifting before like I dial it back.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my standpoint, and I'm really happy to be representing Njuku. Always been happy to represent Fully Sent, and I'm really happy to be representing the people of the future too. So
Sick. What about everybody else? Not everyone wants to compete. More style thing, fun thing. Vince.
I'd like to drive Final Belt at some point.
Yeah.
Real.
we
Real.
tried to get in a final bout.
Yeah.
Well, we got accepted.
Yeah, we did. Anyway,
Vince is more
this
of
is about
a
Vince.
show
Yeah.
car stance guy.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's a stretch.
His car's really fast. though.
Yeah, your car's fast as shit.
That's crazy.
Vince does not get enough credit for how well put together his car is, even though it doesn't work very well sometimes. But
What do you mean?
his exhaust falls off and whatnot. But anyway,
That's
His Will left the chat.
Vince doesn't
Yo,
get
Will,
enough
go,
credit
good.
for. And then you're painting it, right?
yeah, eventually.
Yeah, we gotta keep it on the low.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway,
So-
That might be the first video back.
A,
That
cer-
might be
a,
the first
certain,
video.
a certain color,
Yeah.
syncing up on the color.
yeah, don't do green.
Java?
Yeah, I heard green's taken. You can't paint a car
Yeah.
green.
Yeah, just don't
Anyway.
paint your car green.
I did see that thing that it was like the cars painted in 2023 that it was like 1% was green. Well, and it was like the
That's
majority
wrong,
was
man.
white,
It's
black,
trademarked. You're not allowed to
gray.
paint green.
Yeah.
Well, that's
it's
certain
taken.
green.
You just can't take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about everyone else? Corey, Logan? What do you guys?
You go
dude,
first. Drive.
Yeah,
In general.
I
Drive more?
haven't drove in like almost 2.5 years now.
Yeah.
So just like life stuff, financials. So it's just like everything else, I put that on the back burner for so long, dude. So I'm trying to drive next year. I've said that last year. I said that the year before. So it's like it's kind of
happens.
Yeah,
That's
dude. I finally like recently just got the car back together though, to the point where it's like not only it's like roadworthy. I drove it all the way here, banging down all Orlando roads, but it's
Them
like
speed
it's
bumps?
Yeah, going over my speed
I
bumps.
almost beached over here, but it's not ready to go drive on the track again. And it's like even like dude, like I don't know how many times Mel has just like messaged me on Instagram and be like, "Bitch, when are you gonna drive?" Like, literally, like she's like, "Imagine if you drove the car." I'm like, "Yo, that's crazy." But yeah, no, I just want to have fun. A lot of the stuff for a long time for me was like I wanted to go fast. I want to be on everybody's door, and you can do that with a Z. Yeah, I want to go fast. Like he's a testament to like you can make a Z go just about as far as you want to stretch it in terms of like tracks and stuff. Like, so I followed that route, and our cars were the same. And I loved it, and then. Now the car's on the floor, like it's, I wouldn't say it stands out, but like I want to go.
Stands out.
It's pretty
It's
standard.
top boy.
stands out.
It's top boy.
Yeah,
Like,
it's top boy. It's definitely
it's
top
more
boy.
expensive to be fast, to be honest. And it's so I was just like, 235 Westlakes, let it ride, put the car on the floor,
Style
it looks
boy.
cool, have fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just looking to have fun, man. Like nothing serious.
Awesome.
Like, but that's what's cool about like all this is like the fully said stuff. It's like it's not a like team in the aspect of like driving as like we all want to drive together, but it's like, dude, like. Chris is doing his thing with the Juku stuff, and he has his brand he wants to start up. I know I want you to plug that shit up. Andrew has Grindle Garage. Campbell's done his stuff forever, dude. You know what I mean? So it's not
30
just
years
like
now.
yeah, 30 years, dude.
I remember
Who's
back in
that?
like '62 when I built the compound.
Yeah, been there for a minute. So it's not just like everybody's like, oh, like they're like competitive, like you know what I mean. So it's, I'm on that low key, just want to have fun and drive. You know, so it's like it's just cool, but. I don't know where Logan's at.
Yeah, so I've definitely like when I was first drifting, I was going all the time, trying to get all the seat time. Like I wanted to get to a point where I could drive like good and consistent, and like I feel like I did that. I feel like I can drive pretty decent. This year, I definitely like took my foot off the gas in terms of like how many times I drove. I probably waited a good 8 or 10 months without driving. And I've driven maybe like 3 or 4 events this whole year for like 2023.
You drove cool ones though.
Yeah, like I definitely it was nice to like pick and choose like mid pond or like a big OSW event,
Mid-pond,
not just like a regular OSW day. Not that there's anything against that, but just like knowing that I'm not going to drive a lot, but if I'm going to drive, I want to make it like a cooler experience.
Quality.
Going to mid pond.
I kind of feel that for next year.
Yeah, just like going out like having that adventure. So I think that I definitely fully intend to drive 2024. Right now I have like 2 different cars that I'm kind of feeling out. Like I have a nice reliable HRZ, and then I also have like a turbo DEZ that I'm building. So it's like, for me, I think next year it's really going to be like figuring out if a turbo Z is like going to work for what I want it to do and like make just a little bit more power and stuff like that. But driving like cool events where it's like out of state, I'm traveling, just driving something that's a little bit more exciting to drive, something like that, or like a private day. You know, I don't necessarily like need to have the most competitive car. I'm very much in the mindset of like I want to be synced up with like who I'm driving with. I want to have our cars set up like
And that's another thing
similar
too.
enough so that like I'm not trying to drive with every single person, but like the people that I go there with, like we can have the best experience possible. Definitely a long term, like I would love, and I definitely know it might not be next year, it might not be 2025, but I would love to get a group of people and go do like a drift week. Like I think that is one of like the most top tier forms of that, where it's like you and your boys for 2 weeks just driving your shit boxes across the country, like duking it out, like dealing with whatever, like that for me, like that's what I would get the most excited about doing. Is just a crazy thing like that. What 2025 or whenever, like I don't want to do it by myself. You know, it'd be cool to have that solo experience, but I would really love the camaraderie of like me and my boys, like we're just going on this crazy trip together, and yeah, we're drifting, we're bullshitting, we're having fun. But I think that for me is like my pinnacle of like what I want to try to experience within the next few years.
Nice. Awesome. Although Andrew's been on the pod before, Grendel Garage going good.
Yeah,
what's
Grendel Garage is going
what's
great,
coming
yeah.
for?
Kind of
What's
just go at my
coming
own
for-
pace. It's off season, so cars coming apart right now. But
Yeah.
I was just gonna do pro am and fun events next season. But I mean, if Chris is gonna do Beast Coast, then
He made the decision 15 minutes ago to drive that event.
Obviously.
You know I shouldn't have fucking said anything. God damn it.
Actually, I signed on with Drift Florida. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So they're like hand in hand with Beast Coast. So I get like a kind of not an obligation, but like an expectancy to drive Beast Coast anyway. So
Nice.
That'll be
Awesome,
tight.
man.
Mid pond?
That would be.
I actually think I have to drop out of it.
What? Oh my
That's just you and
gosh.
Vince.
So we were planning on
You were our trailer up there, bro.
Yeah, what the fuck?
we were gonna get like a 3 or 4 car trailer and go to Mid Pond in February, but I have found out that I have a huge charity event on the same day.
It's crazy you're gonna miss
I
that.
just saved so much money,
Crazy.
bro. You just saved me so much money. Like, thank
I
you.
know. That's kind of like it was the Airbnb, the tires. Now I gotta buy a bunch of 235s and new wheels to fit them. So
Damn.
Nice.
All to get beat by a Z.
For real.
It's crazy.
This guy, so like, he went from the Corvette to the Z. So like, one day he's driven my 370 when I had it. So like, one day, like,
nothing.
one day you'll be in a Z.
They scoot. They're light.
I remember you, ironically enough, in the Z, running down Corvettes at Mid Pond.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you were
but-
like, yo, these cars are actually kind of
He's like, yeah,
nice.
this
But
is like-
it's mid pond. You
It's a
can't.
go-kart track.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's a pretty
super
big go-kart
technical.
track,
It's technical and fast.
Yeah, but I'm saying the Corvette doesn't have its advantage there. That like
Yeah.
there's
Everything changes when we go to the firm, and you have to try and struggle to stretch out.
We'll see it on the 235, bro. I'll be
Damn.
spectating. I'll
Yeah,
be spectating
235s
Beast
are
Coast.
gonna-
That will be
rough.
interesting.
Yeah.
That will be interesting.
you already run 285s at fun events at OSW.
Just go up to the 08Rs instead of the Cs.
Okay.
Remember that trip?
What about you, Camel? What's
That's
going
too
on? What's happening
don't
with your
even-
shop, with the cars? What's gonna happen?
I don't even know right now. It's been like
40
up
years in the
up
making,
and down.
boys.
It has. I sacrificed a lot. So like when we started, or when I started, because y'all were into cars
I just
then.
want to emphasize.
I was in grade school, bro.
I was in middle school.
I just want to emphasize, like, out of all of us, Camel walked so we can run.
Real.
Facts.
Yeah.
He don't get enough
Real
credit,
shit.
like in general. Like
Camel, like, not to take the thunder away from Camel's about to say, but like, Camel was the first dude to welcome like all of us to like even his shop to use to mount tires. Like I remember
Yeah,
the first
yeah.
time, like I barely even knew Camel and I like DM'd him. I don't even think he was following me. I was like, hey bro, like I need to get some tires mounted. And I got these new carbines. So I bring the carbines to the shop and I bring the tires to the shop and he's like, where are the what do you call the little thing?
Valve stems.
He's like, where are the valve stems? I'm like, oh shit, I need valve stems? Like that's how dumb I was. So like, but Camel, like for all of us, like he's the first person that's ever opened like a shop for us and like just welcomed us in, like take the parts off the shelf, whatever you need, like I have 38 VQs sitting on the side. If you need parts, like come use them, or just like whatever. Like if it's 3 a.m. and you need to work on your shit, like okay, here's
Doors
the key,
open.
here's the keys.
Yeah.
Go use the lift. So Camel, in like conclusive of everybody else, because he hasn't just done favors for us. He's done favors
Yeah.
for the whole car community.
Everybody, bro.
And
Me
Florida,
too.
like-
I mean, before we were
Yeah,
even
like-
really talking,
yeah,
it was
like you
same
barely need to know Camel and he'll open his shop up. to
Yeah,
you,
I remember
but-
them times when I didn't have a shop, and it was
Yeah.
just like, bro, so stressful to try and do an event. So
Yeah.
like, anytime they got an event going on or anything, I'm like, yo, just come to the shop. We got the lift. Like
Yeah.
you don't gotta work like a caveman. Just put
Yeah.
on the lift. We'll get it knocked out, and then we'll just go. Cause like my thing is, out of driving, I like driving with my homies the most. You know, like like a compound night or a compound day, you can't beat that.
Facts.
You know, it's just like, even in competition, it's like, cool, yeah, I just beat somebody, that's great. But it's just like, I'd rather be driving with my dogs,
Yeah.
you know? So, like, back then when I started, it was nothing but, like, street and compound. So that's, like, I was driving the compound in, like, 05 in high school, bro. Like, you know? So, like, I knew the track. So, like, from then, I just always drove the compound, and I loved it. And then as I met like Crizzy and stuff, I started doing a little bit of comp. I think I did like clutch kickers.
OKC.
And then,
Dude,
yeah,
you're
and then
bullying.
like I was getting into OKC, but like a lot of it was Chris. Like, oh come on, bro, let's run this comp. And I was never like a comp guy. I was more like a street, have fun guy. I like more style than comp. And then like he kind of pushed me into like actually running competitions and getting more confident, like with my driving, following too as well, because. Like when I followed, I'd be like 10 cars behind. I was like, "Yo, it was sick, bro! That was a sick run." So like, it was pretty cool. He helped me push, and I did clutch kickers a little bit. I was having like issues with my car, and then OKC, I was doing all right. And then every time, like, whatever, there's like a black cloud over OSW, whenever it comes to King OSW or rain, and like my main car was my coupe at the time, couldn't drive in the rain. Like, that car is like driving on ice. Like, as soon as you hit the wet, it's like a banana peel. And it's just like off the track. So, like, I didn't do a lot of comp, and then like more and more I started like getting more confident in figuring everything out. And then I don't mind comp. I'd like to do more just for a certain part of my life. I was like working for the city, so it's like a 7 to 3 and on call, so I couldn't go nowhere. And then I also had my shop, so I was full-time grinding. So a lot of my city money was like pay all my bills, and then shop was, you know, my fun money, do whatever I can to drive. And then like just because I was on like call, it just put like a damper on trying to make plans. It was just annoying. And then I recently switched professions to where like I could be more open to do that, but there was like a big issue that happened. So now I'm with another company and starting over. So once money like financially comes through, then I won't mind trying to run more competition and be more in tune to it. But I think mainly I like just driving with the homies. So like my girl built her car too. She wants to drive some more. So I think for this year coming up, it's going to be mainly like just hanging out with the friends and driving.
Cool.
More or less than anything.
Nice.
And then comp when I can.
You know the comp's getting serious when he drives with his second hand on the wheel.
So like I believe in firmly driving with one hand. Like I'm very comfortable driving with one hand, but when I drive with two, it gets too complicated, and then I start fumbling the bag. I think I was like the one comp we had like with LZ, and it's funny because I got the video of the vlog, but I'm driving, and in the last corner I'm using both hands. And I go like this, and somehow I grab my glove. I rip up the fully set glove, and I'm just like in the video, I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm just like going around driving and trying to compete against LZ. It was the funniest thing ever. But yeah, I like one hand. It's just less stress. But
we have a video of him like just one hand driving through the whole compound with literally the biggest G-Shock you've ever seen in the world. It's a big gold G-Shock, dude. The face of it's like that big, and he's just wheeling like this. That bitch is probably like 30 pounds on his wrist. It's just like wheeling around.
It is iconic.
Realistically,
no seatbelts. The harnesses are flying everywhere.
Yeah. It's like realistically, your car should be set up to where you shouldn't have to struggle like that. Like your wheel should just be like one end to the other, you know. And then like that's how most of my cars are set up. Like Crazy Caster, it kind of just like self-steers more or less than trying to fight it. And I think that's where a lot of issues are with like a lot of people in their cars. But don't get me wrong, there's like some grip setups that I don't know, so I haven't drove. My cars aren't like crazy gripped up, so I don't know how that affects everybody else. But
You're just funny.
funny. Bitch, I'm doing comp with one hand too.
I know.
Like,
I seen it. I know.
but it works good. Well, until it don't. But
It's a little yeah. Well, guys, thanks for coming by. If you enjoyed this 2-3 part, I don't know how many. I
They're all
think two-part episode. Give a thumbs up. Drop a comment for these guys. Check them out on their social medias. I'll put them all on there. If you want to plug your shit, now's your time. Go for it.
Oh shit, Vince.
All the things.
I'm chilling.
You gotta plug your new shit.
At Crazy Rios on Instagram. I'm not releasing my new shit yet.
What?
He
This is literally the
gatekeeping
time
still.
to do it. This is the stage.
It's not.
It ain't-
Not for
it ain't
him. Not
It
for
ain't-
him.
It ain't the time.
All right.
He signed an NDA.
No, it's not even that. I just like no disrespect to you. It's just like
I feel
for me,
the
it's not-
disrespect. I welcome you into
Right.
my house. I welcome your friends and stuff. And
My bad. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I thought
No,
it would be
you're
a
good.
good time for it.
No, you're good. You're good.
Well, what's
Shout out. I already
Oh,
gave
you
my
did?
at
Word.
at
no, I'll
Crazy
put all
Rios.
that in. We don't, if you want, I was just saying if you want to plug anything extra, anybody.
Juku Racing.
No.
Yeah,
There you
Adam
go.
Juku Racing.
I'd like to plug in Juku Racing. I'd like to plug Billy Mitchell Racing. I'd like to plug McDowell, and last but not least, I'd love to plug Fully Sent. They're the boys. So
Sick.
Real.
Sick.
You can follow me at I'm Based and Fully Sent. That's really those are the hubs.
Yeah, definitely. Lagna, Fully Sent, Raid Club.
Lagna.
We, a part of some of the stuff we do too is like off-roading, super big into off-roading. So that's another part of it too, and yeah,
Everything.
it all ties together.
It all ties together.
Sick.
I got Grindle Garage, and Grindle Garage.
What's
Hell
the,
yeah.
what's the third one?
Juicy
Grindle
Drift.
Garage.
Oh,
Juicy,
juicy.
juicy.
Oh, okay.
mine is Kashad and Camel Style.
Ho.
Ho.
Camel style ho.
Sick.
He grew out of it.
Awesome, guys. Well, this has been one hell of a night, one hell of an episode. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.
Peace out.
Later.